Now, we've got a lot affecting the cryptocurrency market right now, none of which I believe is bigger than the current sentiment. Guys, unfortunately, in periods of extreme fear, it is very difficult to see gains, and we are sitting in a period of extreme fear right now. As a matter of fact, let me show you. You guys have seen it a lot in these videos, but a level of 15 extreme fear is the lowest that we have seen in the last essentially 2.5 years, and even beyond that. But this chart only goes back 2.5 years. So knowing that, we cannot expect meme coins, altcoins, or really even Bitcoin to thrive, knowing that people are way too afraid to even make their purchase. So we're going to talk about some of the latest news affecting XRP, Dogecoin, and Shiba Inu coin, but we're going to focus a little bit more on Shiba Inu coin in this video. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Clay, and I do want to say thank you guys for watching this video. It's on Claybro Clips instead of Claybro. I can't post on the other channel for another few weeks, so if you guys want to click the subscribe button on this one, I would absolutely appreciate it. And with that being said, we've got to be very careful with cryptocurrency, okay? November 17th, YouTube changed their policy, okay? A lot of people view this as a crackdown on crypto. So I want to be 100% clear that this content is permitted because it is general discussion. It's educational content, news, and discussions about cryptocurrency. We are simply going over the latest news articles. I will add my commentary, absolutely. And I will talk about the price action of Shiba Inu coin and other cryptos. Now, that is not in any way to be interpreted as a recommendation for you to go out and do anything. Simply utilize the knowledge, utilize the information that is available, and make your own decisions. Simple as that, right? So let's jump into it. Let's talk about what's happening with Shiba Inu coin, XRP, and Dogecoin here. It says XRP volume surges 71% as the price dips into a good buy zone. Now, everything, if this truly is the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the sentiment, if we do not go much or any lower than the current level of 15 extreme fear, everything would be on sale right now. Everything would be a very good buy. Everything would be in a good buy zone. Now, clearly, sentiment can fall even further, right? We're still sitting at $90,000 Bitcoin, $2,900 Ethereum. Like, prices are still relatively elevated compared to where they've been in the past, but they are down heavy over the last couple of weeks. So knowing that sentiment may be bottoming out soon, I would agree that this could be a good buy zone for XRP, but of course things could always go further, and just because something feels fearful doesn't mean that people can't get even more scared. So XRP volume jumps during the sell-off, and XRP's trading volume surged 71% to $7.4 billion. Guys, $7.4 billion in trading volume is phenomenal for these cryptocurrencies, but I truly believe that it's just the beginning. Now, moving down to Dogecoin. It says Dogecoin's price ready for a rebound as trading volume also spikes. So we're looking at a lot of cryptocurrency that is in the red over the last week. It is in the green just slightly over the last 24 hours, but volume is elevated, right? You've got $86 billion being traded in Bitcoin, $37 billion in Ethereum, $144 billion in USDT, XRP $6 billion here, and Dogecoin sitting at $2 billion. Now, Shiba Inu coin is sitting at $165 million. This is relatively low for Shiba Inu coin. Over the last several months, it's been averaging around 200 million. And I believe that a lot of retail investors are just not as excited as they once were. And it all boils back down to the extreme fear that is plaguing the market. I believe that when greed returns, especially extreme greed, meme coins will do very well and meme coin volume will rise. Right now, utility tokens and Bitcoin are seeing the influx, but when greed is to do with it, I believe we're going to see meme coins and the more speculative assets rise in volume. Now, Shiba Inu coin is about to face a massive selling wave as exchange inflows surge rapidly in the last few hours. Now, this is interesting. It says exchange inflows. Shiba Inu coin's price hovers around 870 points per coin. That's exactly where it's at right now, sitting at about 873. But on-chain data shows a far more concerning trend beneath the surface. The majority of retail traders continue to overlook Shiba Inu coin's exchange net flow control. The larger market context reveals something far more unsettling. It says SHIB has entered a new phase where selling pressure is not just increasing, it's preparing to flood the market. Massive inflows. Extending the window to last week, inflows exceeded 120 billion SHIB, a classic precursor to a large sell-off. Now, this is a rather longer time frame when you're looking at exchange inflows and wondering where these people are going to sell, when they're going to sell, and so on. Just because somebody sent some tokens to an exchange last week does not mean that they're going to be selling this week, okay? So there's a lot of speculation that goes on when trying to determine why somebody does something. Just because they send it to an exchange does not mean that they are going to sell it or sell it immediately. So looking at that number, the 120 billion SHIB flowing into exchanges, yes, it could indicate that they are more likely to trade or sell, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. A classic prelude to aggressive sell-offs last week saw about 120 billion SHIB move on to exchanges. If we extend the time frame when tokens move from wallets to exchanges, this is not a sign of optimism. So what they're essentially saying here is you want to see tokens moving off of exchanges. This typically indicates a willingness to accumulate, and it typically indicates a willingness to hold. When money or cryptocurrency flows onto an exchange, it typically indicates a willingness to sell or trade. Now, with that, I'm not letting the fear ruin my day. I'm not letting the fear ruin my portfolio. I am simply following the plan that institutions follow. I am accumulating every single thing that I possibly can. Do I go out there every single day and buy it with all of the money? No, I don't, right? I'm using it to diversify. I'm using it to average in, and I continue to accumulate the best that I can. Now, one of the places that I'm doing so is the KCEX exchange. Like I said at the beginning of the video, however, this is not a recommendation for you to use any specific exchange or to go out and buy, sell cryptocurrency or anything like that. I'm allowing you to know, we're discussing that this exchange exists so that you can weigh it against your current exchange, or you can simply make a decision to use it one day based on this information. The fees are 0% maker, 0% taker fees on meme coin futures trades, so you're not going to find better than 0%. Best selection of crypto that I've seen available in the United States, and of course you can trade on up to 125x leverage if you want. So they've got basically everything that you would want in an exchange. Let me know what you guys decide to do, and until the next time, hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.